Hello and welcome to the Fibonacci free video for Friday, December 30th. And I want to look at Tesla here quickly, along with the Voodoo Lines and the Voodoo Lines roadmap, right? This is a name that's sold off pretty heavily here in December. We can see late November it broke below and tested and held below this 204 Voodoo Fireline, right? The Voodoo Firelines are the most important of the Voodoo line levels, and that most important just means that we tend to like to see the more significant swings come from the more important Voodoo line levels. Those are going to be the Voodoo Firelines, the most important, and the Voodoo tree lines, these green second most important levels. And so what we look at when we break below and start pushing below a level like a fire line is seeing if we can make it to the companion fire line level below it. And if so, it would certainly need to get below these tree lines in the middle, such as this one here at 167.50 and one here at 144.79. Now that's true of of any levels we would put in between here. You can't get from 204.26 to 108.03 without going through the levels in between. But the reason we want to benchmark this with things like these tree lines is they end up being at the appropriate spots where we might get either a move back the other way, like this bounce that lasted over a week from a Voodoo tree line, right? Or if not a counter trend move, it might even be a reversal from that level, right? If it was going to get back above 204.26 and continue upwards. Of course, it didn't. It turned right back down. And similarly, when we break below a level like the tree line here, we want to ask ourselves, okay, the first thing we're going to look to is say, well, if it's continuing down from this fire line, then it needs to get from 167.50 to 144.79. How will it navigate the snow lines in between? And it gets, a little bit of a pause at the first snow line, breaks through to the lower one, retests the upper one. And this is how we build Voodoo roadmaps, right? They let us ask the question, okay, if the trend is going to continue, what action would be consistent with it? What action would be inconsistent with it? And this continued to do all the things that we would expect it to do to visit the 108.03 Voodoo Fireline. And so it broke 144.79, right? Short-term reaction at some of the snow lines, but it kept it on target to get down to 108.03. And again, you see another reason why we watch these Voodoo line levels, which are stable at the these price levels often for years. And this is, we wanted to know this level was here because that's where we bounced from. Now, it is still unclear whether or not this is a long-term low at 108.03. We got it, I think, within 21 cents of 108.03. We got awfully close enough that here on the hourly chart, you can't really see any daylight between our lows earlier this week and this swing low, and that's where we started to bounce. Now, if this is truly going to resume a bullish trend from here, then we would expect support to form, and we would work our way above 122.07. That's where we gapped up to on Thursday, but came back down. We closed above it today, and we'd use that to propel ourselves above 130.75. We'd allow some pullbacks to retest here, just like we can still allow pullbacks back below here, but sooner or later we have to ratchet up above these levels and work our way to 144.79, solidly above there, and and we can potentially look even further up. Meanwhile, resistance under 122.07 might send us right back down, and I would be cautious if we see that, because it might mean that the pressure is remaining to the downside, perhaps for a retest of 108.03, and I would be more bearish, certainly a lot more bearish, if we end up closing below there. So for now, there are no voodoo lines levels beneath 108.03. As I mentioned, these levels are often stable for years, but at some point, they get invalidated by price action and continuing to stay below 108.03, and I will have to come out with some new and updated levels. But as I mentioned, for now, it is holding. We know what we want to see if the bounce is going to continue, but if it starts giving up those snow lines, watch out. That could be a warning of more selling to come. I hope you found that useful, and I will see you at the next update. Hey, David here with Simpler Trading. Thanks for taking a few minutes to watch this video. I hope you found it useful. And if you did, please help us out. Click the like button. You can also add your comments below. We love to read those and respond to them. You can also click the bell icon. That will alert you whenever we have new and updated videos. And if you want to watch us trade in real time with our own money, you can visit simplertrading.com to learn how to sign up. Until I see you again, as always, good trading, and we'll see you at the next video.